camaraderie, but make no mistake, they're not phoning it in. They're not just sitting down and let's just make some random moves. We saw it yesterday in Magnus versus Hikaru. They were treating this like a serious, classical rapid game. As you see the handshake there, a wild Magnus Carlsen appears, adjusts his pieces. He'll have the black side of this win hour French, the Urva side against Vichy Alexander Anand.
Yeah, that's what they call him. And it does clearly indicate Magnus takes, which is the world champion's privilege. Kasparov also used to be late to sometimes avoid the paparazzi, sometimes maybe also to just have his opponent sit there and stew in fear of what the champ will come up with. I keep calling Magnus world champion. I know he isn't, but he is rapid and blitz world champion and still the world number one. How does it work for you? Have you accustomed to the new world order of Magnus no longer being official world champion? I'm still not fully.
No. It's almost like when the new year happens and you write 2023 on a sheet of paper. I was doing some chess.com video recordings a couple of months ago, and I just kept, I was narrating a game of Magnus, and I just kept world champion. And this is no offense to Ding Liren. It's just we're so used to it. It's been the case for 10 years. He's still the GOAT. It's no malicious intent to Ding or Gukesh or anybody, as the positions have been reached. And okay, C5 has been played. Wait a second. They both played their moves instantly. And it's the same move. And it's the move that Urva played. Or no.
No, C5 I think they've still been given, so
why starts white to move? Okay, I apologize. Because I was like, wow, they both know this position. No, it is white to play in the initial position. And Alexander Alekhine responded with knight to e2, protecting the pawn on d4, which I think is a very reasonable move. Maybe the only move.
Yeah, that is by far the main move. I cheated a bit and switched on the computer once we heard this was gonna be the position, and it says knight e2 or d takes c5 are both equal. D takes c5, a bit counterintuitive, ruining that pawn structure, going for the triple pawns. But Cockby said that was an option as well. But knight e2, I would expect, is what you choose here being thrown into.
Wow, I see a Robert Fischer versus Robert Byrne game from 1966. Fischer played knight e2, and then Black responded knight b to d7. Oh, and the handshakes, I guess Bassem Amin and Hikaru Nakamura shook hands there, but Bassem is already thinking about his move. Yeah, DC getting the Irish pawns, Jan, harder move for me personally to play, although it does open the d file.
That is the official title, right, for triple C or F pawns. I always get hate from Irish viewers whenever I say it, but it's what it's called. It's not our fault.
It's like the Irish goodbye. Have you heard of that phrase, Jan? If we can make sense of this very unbalanced position. So my understanding is that knight c6 is bad, or maybe not accurate because of bishop to g5. Jan, and this move doesn't win the knight, because Black always has this very important resource, rook to g6. But now the queen is dropped back to h4, white is threatening knight f4, and maybe Black can make this work concretely with the engine? Yeah, apparently. Oh my goodness, look at this line. C takes d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, von castle. Yeah, that's a legal move. Queen a5. I'm not going to pretend that I know what's going on. This actually hits the bishop. And after bishop f6, queen takes a3. Of course, chess is a draw. To the surprise of exactly no one, this ends in a perpetual check. So that is just one line which illustrates the complexity of the position, how crazy things can get here. Let's go back to the live position after knight bd7.
Yeah, knight bd7 on the board. The drawback of knight bd7 is it takes the pressure off white's center of the d4 pawn to some extent. So maybe white now has time to redeploy that knight directly. And since d4 is no longer hanging, play some move like knight g3 and try to develop, quote-unquote, normally with bishop e2 short castles. still be a very cool game.
I really enjoyed this position. Well done by the organizers, and well done by Anna and Dana to choose this position. This was exactly the right level of heat. All right, it wasn't too crazy. It was complicated enough where the players knew some ideas, but still had to think independently, and there was a lot of room for mistakes. Just the right amount of entertainment. And let's see if Magnus goes for rook takes g2. He's taking his time, maybe calculating king to h1, making sure that queen f3 still does the job there, but it does, and Vishy will take the rook.
Has he played it? Still no. But there he comes. Rook takes g2 on the board. Vishy will take a moment, but there he takes it. And the red drawing pattern. Notice knight h3, knight f4 back. You don't see it all the time because the queen needs to control the third rank, which typically is.
Don't go knight e2 check instead, because the white knight actually defends the queen, and a draw has been agreed. It's a repetition. Let's see, can we listen in?
Listen in.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry, even queen f3. Yes, queen f3. Knight d6, king f8. Knight f5, king g8. Knight h4. But you take queen f4. Queen f4, queen h3, f8. e5. King h3, and then queen g4. I have the wrong position in my mind. I thought the king was ending up on g4 and then queen g4 and knight f4. No, it's still there. No, I thought rook a1 was very strong, and then I saw queen e5. Yeah, but you're just worried. I missed this guy. But did I have something? No, I thought you were going to go queen e3 instead of queen f4, like queen c6, bishop e2. Queen c4. I thought it's the other idea. Okay. Not to play c4 and keep the bishops. Yeah, I thought like trading queens somehow. I thought maybe you're better. This is what Keres but training. I mean,